I started the recording.
Okay, fantastic. So I will share my screen and I will show you what to do, where to go, and then what we need to understand. Okay?
Okay.
Just listen like a story. Later on, I don't think you will forget it. Okay?
Okay.
So let me share my screen. So screen, then Chrome tab, Windows, Microsoft Teams, Classic. Entire screen, and then I say share. Okay. Am I visible?
Yes, we are able to see your screen.
Yes. Yep. Fantastic. So see, Kavya, the basics are the very basics are. So I'm just closing off these few things that are not important for us at this point in time. Okay. So I'm just trying to close them. Is the screen share still there, or is it gone?
No, it's gone.
It's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this has Microsoft Teams has a few tricks to be done. Yeah. Now it is there. I hope, correct?
Yes.
Yep. So we will start with a few shortcut keys. Okay. And we will also understand primarily when we are trying to do when we are trying to understand virtualization, what are those important points we need to make a note of. First of all, your resources. Okay. So I'm right clicking on the taskbar and then I say task manager. Okay. This is where even yesterday we have discussed, right? So
yes.
This is very important. Your CPU, memory, disk, network. Okay, the top portion, this blue highlighting portion, that is most important. Okay, so that means I am making use of maybe an i5 processor or i7 or i3, but still I am only making use of 13% of it, not the complete extent. And memory anyways is full because I have only 8 GB of RAM. Nowadays we have 16 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB RAM laptops and PCs as well. They are as good as servers. Okay. Then there is a 0% disk utilization and 1% or it's nil almost. Okay. Utilization of network resources. Okay, so these are the primary important things that we need to make understand. And if you go to the performance tab, okay, what would happen is you will see the graphs, okay, of different things. That means to say your CPU is there, memory, disk, Ethernet. So in Ethernet you have multiple things. If you can close it up, Wi-Fi is there, okay, Ethernet. I have VMware. So I have a few more adapters, but you will have your own Ethernet adapter and Wi-Fi. Okay, so this is my kind of structure. Your kind of structure will be entirely different. Okay, so the main thing is how do we optimize usage of the CPU? That is the main concept. And how do we run multiple operating systems on a single machine and demonstrate our project to people who would want to have a look at it. Okay, so that means to say, see, let us say I'm trying to develop an application. So let us say it is an web application. Okay, and if we are trying to do it on a single machine, so it is a single tier architecture, correct? Is that right, Kavya?
Yes, it's single tier architecture.
Yeah, but when we do multi-tier, okay, on PC, can you do multi-tier without virtualization? That is something which is questionable. Okay, so on a machine without virtualization, it is not possible. With virtualization, certainly it is possible, because using virtualization, what would happen is that you can create any number of machines depending on the resources that are available on your machine. Okay, and the moment you are trying to convey that, yeah, we can use multiple machines on a single PC, then the question comes that whether they belong to the same operating system or different operating systems. What is that? Okay, so using virtualization, we can do multiple operating systems at a given point in time. Suppose the infrastructure requires one Windows machine, one Linux which is loaded with Red Hat, one other Linux which is loaded with CentOS, another machine with let us say Alpine Linux or any other Linux, Fedora Linux or something, right? And one more machine which with Windows, I have 10, I want 11, I want Windows Server. Everything is possible, and simultaneously all machines will come together. Okay, there is nothing that there are systems like dual boot system, multi boot system. That means at any given point in time only one operating system will come up, not all the operating systems come up. But using virtualization, we can make everything come up. Okay, so so this is one thing that we have to take care of, and the other thing that we have to take care of is so if you go to your Explorer by hitting Windows and E button, then you right click and say properties. You have your system properties there. Okay, which is IdeaPad S340. Okay, the series number, device name. That is what I placed my name, my company's name, and my name. But you should have across the globe different names for this. Some people may leave it to default, which is once again a randomly generated name. Okay, the main important things are the processor. Okay, so this is what it is. This is the processor. Okay, then there is a RAM, which is 8 GB. I guess yours is 16 GB. Is my understanding correct?
Mine
Kavya?
is 16 GB. Let me check.
Yeah,
1 second.
yeah. And yeah, device ID is there, product ID is there, and it is a 64-bit operating system, not a 32-bit. Okay, I mean to say the processor is 64-bit. So when I come to the operating system, then it is Windows 10 Home. So version is so and so, installed OS, everything is there. Correct? So this is another area what we need to look. And there is one more application that I would like you to understand. It is called, please make a note of this, because this is called Intel Processor Identification Utility. And if possible, you can download that also. Okay, so why is this required? Okay, let us see why this is required. So you can download later when you are done with this session, you can download, and then what you can say is you can install that application. So that is download that is happening. Then you open the folder, there is an Intel Processor Identification Utility, double click, and you say this is a user account control. This comes for all the applications that get installed on the machine. If you say no, it quits. If you say yes, only yes, then it goes into the system. Okay, into the process of installation. Then I say yes, then so it is giving a dashboard kind of stuff where it says okay, whether you wanted to go with English or not. You say next, and then it starts its installation. This, it says the processor is not support, this version does not support this processor. Download the version Intel Processor Identification Utility Legacy. Okay, so this is an intelligent system which says okay, there is this processor does not support the present downloadable file that can be installed. You have to go with the legacy system. Then I can say next, and so legacy system you can see. So there is a legacy, right? Download legacy. So you can hit on that. Okay, and then you go there, open it, legacy, yes, next, and install. Most probably, yes, install. That's it. It is now installing. So this will help us identify whether the processor is virtualization technology enabled or not. Okay. Any questions, Kavya, till here?
No.
Clear?
Yes. So
If
basically,
everything
we are
is
downloading this software to understand if whatever like Linux or whatever operating system we are installing is virtualized or not. Is we can use it for virtualization or not.
yeah, you got the point correct to the closest extent, but not on the operating system side. Okay. We have Intel processor inside our machine. That's the hardware, right?
Yes, that's right.
So we are trying to verify whether this processor will support virtualization technology or not. That's it, nothing else.
Oh, okay. It's just checking if the virtualization technique is supported or not on that
Correct.
particular processor. Okay.
Correct. So then, I'm just closing it off, and let me see where that has gone. So, okay, there it is. Okay, in my start menu, you have Intel processor identification utility, and then it says, yes, I will continue, and you can say accept, and then it runs, and it will give you the data. Okay. So
Okay.
then there is a beautiful processor frequency, thread, scores, everything is given. Okay.
Okay.
This is a wonderful tool. Many of the people who are students does not understand this. Okay. They don't even know that such a kind of processor identification utility is available. And see, this is what we are looking for. Okay, Intel
Okay.
virtualization technology, Intel hyper-threading technology. Okay, virtualization is supported by these, either of these. Intel virtualization technology enabled, that is okay. If it is disabled also, Intel hyper-threading technology, Intel 64 architecture, all this is there, right? Intel exactly hyper-threading technology. Okay,
Okay.
so
What is
virtualization.
hyper-threadal technology utilized for? I mean,
See, basically, when the processors are defined so very well, they are getting advanced day by day. Correct?
correct.
Okay. Hyper-threading is one concept that we will discuss at a later stage. But for now, let us understand that these technologies will help us install the virtualization software that is required for us to run different operating systems for now.
Okay.
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 We will discuss about that advanced hyper threading technology and other stuff a little later in the next sessions. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So then you have CPU ID data. Okay. So with this help, we can understand what kind of processor are we handling, and what kind of technologies does this support. Okay.
Right.
And as I told you that we will be using different virtualization techniques. I will give you a brief of different types of virtualization that is prevailing in the market. Okay, so I have a PowerPoint. Let me see if I have. Yeah, there are few slides which I feel you need to understand. So this is a regular PC laptop architecture.
Yes.
Okay. So let us go to once again basics. Your x86 architecture. That is what you see here, right? So you see
Yes.
x86 architecture, and underneath this you have CPU, memory, NIC, and disk. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that means your hardware. That means to say either your laptop, your PC, your server, whatever form factor it is. Primarily, let us understand one thing. So if you are buying a hardware, let us say a laptop. So you go to the shop, okay, and then say, hey, I need Intel i7 next generation, okay, and then I need to have memory, which is 16 GB RAM, 32 GB RAM, or 8 GB RAM, or whatever it is, right?
Correct.
And then the hard disk. Then you say, okay, I need a IDE hard disk, I need a SATA hard disk, or I need a SSD, solid state drive. Correct?
Yeah. Give me a
Are you
second.
aware
I'll
of
check.
different types of hard disks, Kavya?
Hard disks, meaning I have only one hard. The RAM and ROM are the two different types of hard disks, which I understand.
Yeah,
RAM is
yeah.
uh, like temporary memory where it stores the data temporarily, whereas ROM is like wherein we store our data. Like we have like 1 TB to till 1 TB data where we can store our data in the
That
disk
is
basically.
RAM, ROM is,
Read-only memory,
read
RAM is
only. That's it.
right,
You can't do
right,
anything. Okay.
correct.
RAM is
RAM,
basically the very primary
very
memory, as I understand, because whatever operations you do, okay, on your system, they
correct.
get stored on RAM. Okay. And immediately, let us say that you opened a MS Word, Microsoft
Yes,
Office Word. Okay. And then RAM has that information. Basically, okay, this guy has opened MS Word. Okay. And then you open a new document. Okay.
yes,
So RAM still has that. And then you say, okay, new document, you have typed something, and then while you are closing, let us assume that you have not saved, you are closing it. Okay. Then what
right.
happens is RAM still understands, okay, this guy is trying to close it. Then it throws that, okay, hey, you have not saved your
Saved it.
application. It is temporarily located. It is, it is a temporary file. You may lose the content. That is what it says, correct? Do you
Yes,
want me to
correct,
save the file or not? Okay.
correct,
That is where, your RAM comes into picture. Until that time, RAM holds the data.
correct.
Okay. Then what
Nowadays we
happens is,
have
yeah,
this
if you say,
automatic saving
yeah,
also. We have this automatic saving
auto
system
saving
right
is
now.
something different, Kavya. That is nothing to do with, see, I am talking about a fresh new file. Okay.
Correct.
When you open a new file, what would happen is, when you start closing it, you enter the data, and then when you start closing it, then
Without
what
saving,
happens
you
is,
mean to say.
yeah, it says,
Okay.
hey, you have not saved, would you want me to save the file? If you say
Okay.
yes, then it is written to the hard disk. If you say
Correct.
no, from the RAM
No.
itself it gets erased.
Erased. Correct.
So yeah. So that's how the architecture works. Okay.
Okay.
So when you say save, only then it is written on the hard disk drive. Okay. So
Correct.
that is the reason why RAM is a temporary storage, hard disk is a permanent storage.
Oh, okay.
Okay, got it? Clear?
Yes. Yeah.
There are different types of hard disks also. Okay, there is a IDE hard disk, there is a SATA, there is a SAS, there is a SCSI, and latest, we have SSD, solid state drives. You can browse for different types of hard disks. Let me just check. You have a lot of information on that basically. So you can say that of yeah. So you can go through this link. Do you have a chart here?
Yeah,
Uh,
we have a chat.
yeah,
The
chart.
first one.
Yep. So then we got it. And then I say, okay. Okay. So if you can just see that, SATA, PATA, SCSI, SSD, all this is available. Why this is important, I will even let you know. And see, on the top, it says SATA, PATA, SCSI, and SSD. I was talking about IDE also, IDE, correct?
Right.
So normally it is integrated development environment. That is what we all understand as application
Right.
developers.
Yes,
Okay,
that's right.
correct.
Yeah.
So there is another form also for that type of hard disk, which is called integrated drive electronics.
Okay.
Kavya, these things are very important during your interview.
Oh yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
if you can tell them that, hey, I know about different interfaces, ATA, SATA, PATA, SCSI, IDE, EIDE, okay, you will blow their mind. I'm telling you, okay. And when you are going to the interview, you have to talk about them. So why am I sharing this info with you is that you will go through each of these, understand this, okay.
Okay.
This is awesome good thing for you to attack your interviewer, and he will be thrilled, he or she will be thrilled,
Okay.
okay.
Right.
So yeah, go through this, and actually, what you have to do is there is speed comparison. Basically, I'll tell you speed comparison of different HDD types. Okay, comparing speed, lifespan, reliability, all this. Okay, so SSD versus HD. Okay,
Right.
so you can just go through, just read them. And
Okay.
this is also very important. Okay, and these are very important during the interviews, I'm telling you. So how you take that person into confidence and bring him in a way to hear to whatever you say. Okay,
Hmm.
and if you can really talk about the speed, read speed, write speed, capacity, okay, you can ignore that actually, okay, but if you
Okay.
can remember this, that should be much more than sufficient.
Okay.
Okay, and this one.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
SSD can.
how many times is it faster? Okay,
Then HD.
simple, 80
Oh
80
yes.
MB and 200 MB. Okay, so how many times is it faster?
It's
So write
faster.
speed 160 MB versus 550 MB, how much time it is faster? Okay, NVMe, just compare 80 MB with this speed.
Uh,
Okay,
Even faster. 10x time
so
faster actually.
it is basically phenomenal. Correct.
Yeah, I
So
know.
yeah, so that is where you can tinker the mind of an interviewer, saying that, okay, this lady is really having knowledge of the details. This is how you can crack an interview, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is one good resource, just go through that. Okay, now that we have got to understand the resources, all that stuff is there, correct. So we talked about CPU, memory, NIC, all
Nice.
this. Okay, memory also, you have different types of memory. Okay, that also will be a one good read for you. If rent, oh, sorry, types of RAM. Um, yes. Okay, I'll not spend too much time on this, but I'm just trying to give you some information. Different types of networking, networking, uh, technologies. Yeah, this all has to be a novel read, a Kavya, nothing more.
Oh, okay. Got it.
You have to understand only specific points which are decent enough for you to crack a job. That's it, interview.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so yeah, these are very basics. And then when we go to this, so now you understand the outer rectangular box, that is your hardware. So you have gone
Right.
to your shop and you said, I want this CPU, this memory, this much of memory, this much of hard disk space, and I need this kind of memory, this class of RAM, this class of disk. That is what you mentioned. Then you get the hardware. Okay. So immediately, one question is, can you operate that hardware without anything on that?
No, we need an operating system to actually operate that hardware, right? I mean, we can turn
Fantastic.
it on, but if there's no application installed in that, we cannot operate that hardware.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So next layer is operating system. Obviously, it is there. Correct?
Right.
With operating system, can you do all your tasks?
I mean, with n- we can do until and unless we install the particular application. Let's say it will
Absolutely.
have some inbuilt, like inbuilt stuff, but
Mm,
still, let's say even to open a Word, we need to
mm,
install Microsoft
exactly.
application for
Exactly. Exactly.
Word and everything else, right? So,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So the capacities of the system that you're working on will only be to the fullest extent useful for you if you are installing the third-party applications. Is my statement correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. So application means, MS Office. You can have PDF readers from Adobe. Then you have VLC player. Then you have, so many other tools, right? So you, in
Yes,
case if it is a mechanical engineer, then they may use AutoCAD kind of stuff. Okay. Then if it is electronics guys, then they may use embedded systems, VLSI, embedded systems kind of applications that can be installed on the system. Correct?
correct, correct.
So those are applications. So one other is enclosed into this. That means we have seen hardware, we have seen operating system, we have seen application. Operating system, nowhere it is mentioned that it is only Microsoft Windows. It is generalized as operating system. Okay.
Yes,
Nowhere it is mentioned in the application as Microsoft applications. Okay. It can be any application from any company.
correct.
Correct. Yeah. Now, any doubts still here, or can we move?
I mean, from my end, no doubts. Yeah, we can move.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Shiva, I think he's already got some good understanding on this because he's been working with me past 4+ weeks, 6 weeks.
Uh,
So yeah,
Yes, sir.
he's good on that.
okay.
Shiva, do you have any questions on that?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So we'll move to the next slide. And this is very important, Kavya.
Okay.
Yeah, what is virtualization basically? Okay. So physical machine, I have mentioned the same thing, hardware, operating system, applications. I have
Right.
given few examples. That's it. Hardware, I have mentioned. I am talking about the leftmost part, this one,
Correct.
physical machine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, this is already understood. Now let us jump into this one. Okay. It is
Okay.
called bare metal hypervisor. Correct?
Right.
Are you able to see that?
Yes.
So what will happen is normally when you bring the hardware, okay, so you
Correct.
will install the operating system immediately to make it functional, correct? But
Right.
in terms of type 1 hypervisor, this is called type 1, or it is also called as bare metal hypervisor. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens is you bring the hardware and
Mm-hmm.
immediately you install hypervisor on that. Okay.
Okay.
The application called, it is similar to operating system for virtualization. That is what you have to understand. Okay. There is no operating system, but you install something called hypervisor,
Okay.
which is a operating system kind of stuff for virtualization. This has to be remembered.
Oh, okay. It
Okay.
supports. Okay, it's an operating system which supports hypervisor, but it's not
No, no,
actually
no,
an
no.
operating system.
The operating system itself is called hypervisor. You should not call it as
Oh,
operating system, but for your understanding, I am trying to convey that there is no operating system, but a software is getting installed in spite of we are not creating any operating system. We are not installing any operating system here. Okay, we
okay,
are just
okay.
installing the hypervisor directly on the hardware.
I see. Got it. Okay,
Okay, so then what happens is, then the machine is ready to have any number of virtual machines depending on its resources, computing resources. Okay,
depending on
and
computing
when you
resources.
install hypervisor directly on the hardware, it is called bare metal, right? Bare metal means
Right.
on metal
Yeah.
on your hardware.
On
I
your
am
hardware.
installing a hypervisor. So it is called either type 1 hypervisor or bare metal
Bare
hypervisor.
metal
That
hypervisor.
is
I
how
see.
it is named. Okay,
Got
and normally what will happen is, on the top layer, that the orange layer on normal machine also.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
not only applications we install, the moment we install applications, then we start our profile. User profiles are there, correct?
Yes.
So we create our own profile, and if many people are sitting on the machine working on that, there are multiple user profiles that are getting created,
Correct.
correct? And
Yeah.
then we tend to save a lot of data, which is once again
Right.
your doc file, xls, text, python
Correct.
files, java files, all this nonsense, correct?
Correct.
So
Right.
so that is why I have written a plus p plus d, application plus profile plus
Profiles.
data. Okay,
Okay.
so then hypervisor, if we are installing an hypervisor directly on the hardware, what will happen is you will not be able to sit on that machine and work. Okay, so there is just a console, and then what you have to do is you have to go to another machine on LAN, on local
Okay.
area network, access
Right.
this machine from network via the network, and then from there you can create virtual machines. So that is the concept there.
I got it.
Okay,
But
because that is one of the security reasons. Yeah, you're asking me something, Kavya.
we are accessing it through virtual machines, but we don't know what kind of operating system is installed. So once we access it, then we install whatever. Let's say we want to install Windows software on that particular virtual machine, whatever we want. Then we
Mhm.
install it, or like virtually we install it, or no. I'm just trying to understand. Is that the way or something
No,
else?
no, no. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. See, understand one thing. Hardware is there, hypervisor is there, correct? You are clear on
Correct.
that.
Yes,
There
yeah.
is no
On
confusion.
hardware, no. On hardware, you are installing the hypervisor software.
Fantastic. Until that, there is no confusion at all.
No.
Okay. Then what you do is, the moment we are done with the hypervisor, okay, we just configure one IP address for that machine.
Okay, we have to configure an IP address. I
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
got
yeah.
it.
Normally what happens is there is a CUI, character user interface, that allows the root user. Okay.
Okay,
So
right.
there is an administrator, and then that administrator is given power to configure that machine to be part of the network.
Right.
That means to say you can give a LAN IP or a WAN IP.
Okay,
Local area
okay.
network IP can be given so that it can be accessible in the local network only, or it can be given WAN IP. WAN means anywhere across the globe you can access
Globe.
that
Access
machine.
it.
Okay.
Correct.
So now the configuration is done. Let us assume that IP address, everything is
It's
configured. Then
configured.
I
Yeah.
am leaving that machine in a server room, keeping it under lock and key.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it.
Now
I
I get out of that room, of the server room. Now I
correct.
go to another machine on the LAN.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uh,
So the access of server is normally via HTTP or HTTPS.
right.
Okay, so you open that web page. Normally it has then it will give you the details saying that, okay, what do you want me to do now? So the web page says, okay, you are accessing me, no worries on that. So what do you wanted me to do? So there you have options to create virtual machines
Okay. So when we
via
do
that.
create,
Huh.
okay. So when we are creating the virtual machine,
Hmm.
and when we are trying to create the virtual machine, is when we are installing the software which we need.
Yeah, there is one more small process that I will let you know. Okay. So
Okay.
what will happen is until here it is clear. Server is there. It is kept in lock and key. Then we are coming outside that room. Then we are accessing it via another machine on the same LAN. Until that it is very clear. Correct.
Right. Yes.
Okay, now what will happen is the moment I access the HTTP web page of on that server, okay, I
Right.
will be asked a few questions. Okay, what kind of virtual machine do you want to create? Okay, so then it says,
Okay.
then it gives you options: Windows virtual machine or Linux virtual machine or some other operating system. It will give
Right.
n number of options.
Okay.
So
Okay.
depending on that, then you choose, okay, I would want to have Windows or Linux or whatever. Okay.
I see. Okay. Got it.
It cannot create automatically. Okay. There are few standard images, standard ISO images that will help you create a VM. But that will not,
Okay.
those will not be of much use. Okay.
I see.
Then what you do is, okay, I am selecting let us assume that I am trying to install CentOS community
Okay.
edition OS. Okay,
Alright.
so the
Okay.
moment I select that, then it says, okay, I'm ready. Where is the CD-ROM or DVD-ROM?
Uh,
Okay, then normally nowadays there are no CD-ROMs, no DVD-ROMs, correct?
correct. Correct.
So then what you do, there is a opportunity for us to download ISO files. Nowadays it is only ISO files. Operating systems are all available on ISOs.
I
Correct?
see. Right.
Yeah. So those ISO files you download, keep them ready on the LAN, not on the server. Server does not have anything till now.
Right.
Understand? Correct?
Right.
It is simply a blank machine. It is trying to understand what you wanted to do. Correct?
Correct.
So the moment I say, okay, I wanted to create a CentOS machine, then it says, okay, I'm ready. So what is the configuration? Then you have to say, okay, I need one CPU, which is having two processors. Then each processor should be having two cores. Like that, you configure the virtual machine. Hardware
I
configuration
see.
has to be done primarily.
Okay.
Same
Okay.
structure: hardware, operating system, and then your applications. Three, you should not forget those three layers. Okay.
Correct.
When you create the virtual machine, also the same process follows.
Okay.
Okay, that means to say, you mentioned, okay, hard disk, RAM, and CPU.
Correct.
Okay, then what will happen is, immediately after that, what is the next thing after hardware? It is operating system. Then it says, okay, operating system, what kind of operating system? Then I select CentOS operating system, and then I proceed. Okay.
Correct.
So in the hardware selection, in point number 1 itself, what we will say is, okay, CPU is so, hard disk, I want 100 GB hard disk, RAM, I want 32 GB RAM. All that specifications are already mentioned in the first step itself.
Step itself. Yes. Whatever we are trying to do in the physical machine,
Correct.
we'll do it in the virtual machine.
Virtualized environment. Correct. And then your operating system, it says, okay, I select CentOS. Then it says, okay, where do I find the operating system boot image? Okay. So then you say, okay, I have an ISO file. This has to be uploaded to the data store. Now the actual process starts. Basically, what happens is, the server asks that, okay, where do I, import the ISO file from where? So until that time, you should have already downloaded the ISO file to your PC on any other laptop or, desktop machine on the same network.
On the same network. Okay.
Yeah. So then it asks, and then you say, okay, you upload this file to yourself. Okay. Then it uploads the file to the server. That is the first process. Okay.
Okay.
So after completion of all of this, now everything is ready. Then you hit on a install button. Then it boots from that ISO file. That is when the operating system installation starts on one virtual machine. After that, immediately after that, you install, you access that virtual machine, you open that. Then if it is a CentOS console is given to you. Then in that, from that console, you install applications. That's it. Suppose in CentOS there is an open office. Okay, so you install open office on that.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what virtualization is. And always you keep a check on the resources, computing resources, which is your CPU, RAM, and hard disk space.
Hard disk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What will happen is, the CPU is optimally utilized there. Not only CPU, RAM, hard disk, network, everything is optimally utilized in virtualization because of a technology called thin provisioning. Please make a note of this. It is very, very important. It is called thin provisioning. THIN. Thin provisioning. Did you make a note of it, Kavya?
Yes. I will do
Oh, yeah, there are, see, if there is thin provisioning, there should be thick provisioning also, correct?
Correct.
Thick provisioning means you are locking up that resources for that virtual machine so that the resources cannot be shared with any other virtual machine. Okay. I will make you understand. I will take one example. Suppose out of these resources, okay, let us assume that physical machine has 2 processors, okay, and physical machine has about 32 GB of RAM. Okay. Kavya, just can you hold on for a while? 1 minute, 1 minute, please hold on. 1 minute, Kavya. I'll be back in a minute. Maybe some visitor is there and knocking the door. I'm just back in a minute. Please hold on. Don't log out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back, guys. So, Kavya, you're there or you slept off? Maybe you are feeling my class to be, my session to be sleepy. Okay.
No, I am not feeling sleepy. It is interesting.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. So where were we? Yes. So what we were trying to convey is that, okay, I need one processor. Okay. That is how I am trying to thick provisioning. We are talking about thick provisioning, correct? So I need one processor and then RAM. Let us assume that the physical machine has 128 GB of RAM. Let us assume for a while. Okay. And then this virtual machine, I say that, okay, I need 28 GB of RAM. That's it. I don't compromise on that. Okay. Then 28 GB RAM. Then hard disk. Hard disk, it has, let us say, 10 TB. Okay. Now I say, okay, I need 5 TB. So that entire portion, whether you use it or not, that is allocated for that virtual machine. That's it. You cannot modify anything on that. That is thick provisioning. You have to be very careful during thick provisioning. And these are the concepts, if you explain in interview, these are few things that will raise eyebrows. And they will definitely feel that, hey, this girl is very intelligent. I think we should hire her. We should not let her go out of this room. So thick provisioning, thin provisioning. There are many other advanced, settings in thick provisioning, thin provisioning, but the core concept is this. So the same thing, if you consider for thin provisioning, okay, let us say I have used, say, okay, I need one processor and I need, 28 GB of RAM. I need 5 TB of hard disk space. In thick provisioning, what happens is the same configuration. It will not be a complete, allocation of those resources to that virtual machine. In case of thin provisioning, it is not allocated completely. Okay. In case of thick provisioning, definitely it is allocated. You cannot touch it. Any other virtual machine cannot even go and touch that. In case of thin provisioning, what will happen is the virtual machine will be very happy to share that resources also with other virtual machines. Yeah. Dynamic allocation, that is called dynamic allocation of resources. Please make a note of this point. It is called dynamic allocation of resources. Okay. There should be some, write-up, most probably difference between thick and thin provisioning. Okay. So just yeah, I guess this is talking about only the hard disk. Okay. So yeah, I would strongly suggest that you go and read this. It is very important. Okay. The same. Exactly. You are spot on. Correct. Okay. So are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the technology, Kavya? Yeah. Normally this type of technologies, virtualization, okay, is used. I mean to say the bare metal hypervisor kind of technologies are used in server virtualization. We normally do it for servers, not for the desktop machines. Okay. So that is type 1. So any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Yeah, yeah. Uh, could you come again? Could you be more clear on that? Correct.
they can provide you services and everything. They have clusters and
Correct.
a
Correct.
lot of things. So in that kind of cases, the this server virtualization is used.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. You're very much correct. But what is happening is, see, I told you that the virtualization machine, while we are configuring it from some other machine, okay, we need some IP, correct? So the first thing that we do on a virtualization machine is to configure IP address. And I have also told you that we can configure not only LAN, but we can also configure a WAN IP address, correct? Yeah, wide area network. LAN is local area network. WAN is wide area network. MAN is metropolitan area network. All these you have to just go through the different help articles that are available on web. Okay. So when you configure WAN, okay, that's it. You are something similar to your Amazon guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So this is type 1. Type 2, what happens is, type 2 is you can install on your desktop also.
Okay, we have already
Yeah. Type 2 is something like it is for you and me.
okay.
Okay. So suppose you're developing an application, and as we discussed earlier, you say that okay, I would want to have one web server, one email server, one chat server, one database, and like that. You have different services. Let us assume. Okay. Then you can comfortably do everything on one machine only, your machine. Okay. But there would be lot of clutter. Okay. If one service fails, the entire system may have to be rebooted, reinstalled. Everything has to be started from the scratch level. Is that correct? Yeah. I mean to say, see, suppose let us say web server is working fine, then your email server is working fine, then you add chat server also, then something else, then database, then some more services. Okay. Then finally, when you hit the 10th service, your system says, okay, your web server is not working because of that service. Your email server is not working because of that. Then what do you do? Yeah, that is one possibility where your system hangs. Okay. But when there is a clash of DLL requirements by different services, it is not at all suggested that you have all the services on one machine when you are trying to develop a multi-tier architecture. If it is a single tier, that is okay. Okay, I mean to say a few applications like web server and associated database server. That's it. The simpler thing is good for single tier. If you wanted to do, if you wanted to do multi-tier architecture, I would not personally suggest that you go for it in a single tier architecture. It has to be multi-tier. Then what you do is, so you have Windows 11 machine, then you purchase something called as type 2 hypervisor. Okay. And especially for students, okay, they have discounted prices for these kind of hypervisors. And I would, if it is possible for you, I would strongly recommend that you buy one license later, not now. I have one license with me. I will share you that license with you via Google Drive. That's not a problem. Okay. But the famous names are, one moment, please hold on. Details of organizations in virtualization. Okay. See, I'll tell you a few names. Microsoft anyways is there. Okay. In virtualization. There is a company called as Citrix. Okay. That is one more company. Yeah. You know, because your corporate environment normally has Citrix. Okay. Then you have other technology called as VMware. Correct. You have VMware workstation on your laptop? Fantastic. Those are general office applications. Okay.
Okay.
And then virtualization application is also there, which is your VMware workstation.
Correct.
Okay. And on top of that, application profile data is anyways there.
Correct.
So that is desktop virtualization, which is also called as type 2 virtualization.
Type 2 virtualization. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then you can create the same kind of virtual machines there also. So you can create any number of virtual machines depending on your resources. So you have to make sure that the resources are not hit hard and it is going to a hung state. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to be careful about that. That is the one area where you have to be very careful.
Do we have any videos or demos to see how this how they're installing all this hypervisor and
Yeah. I can share you that. Invite me to US. I will set up one entire system for you, and you can take live videos.
you're most welcome. I'll invite you today only.
Flight charges, subsistence charges. You have to bear my drinks. Maybe I'll be going to. I'll be coming up with few of my girlfriends.
Wait, let me tell my Ataya.
No, she is already listening. She is already listening.
I'll tell my mother.
That is also okay. She also knows me, knows that.
She knows you
No
more than
worries.
me, obviously.
Anyways, jokes apart. So that is type 2, Kavya. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, type 3 is simple. Okay. So normally type 1 and type 3 are used on server virtualization. Please note, make a note of
Okay. Type
that.
1
Okay.
and
But
type 3 are
except
server.
for type 2, type
Type
1 and
2?
type 3.
Okay.
Okay. Type 2 is for common people like us, who would want to showcase their thought processes by demonstrating the applications that they have developed. Okay, using different virtual machines. That is the real multi-tier architecture.
Type 1 and type 3 is where we use the multi-tier, right? Type 2 is where we
Yes.
are able to use only the single tier, basically.
Yeah. Without virtualization, we are almost using single tier.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what you need to do is you need to have different physical machines. If no virtualization is there, then you have to suppose you are using 10 different services. Then you need to have 10 different PCs. That's it.
Should they be of the same operating system?
Yeah, that is once again a complex question. It all depends. It has a lot of dependencies.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
And virtualization, actually, in real scenario, physical scenario, or virtualization scenario, what will happen is any kind of operating system can be used. Please don't be under a thought process that only Microsoft has to be used. No.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what. Now, when you're
Yeah.
trying to do, let's say, multi-tier, and we want to use two different PCs instead of a single I mean, instead of using virtual tier, let's say we are trying to build a web server or database
mm,
server or something like that.
mm,
But instead of
mm,
using one PC, we are trying to use two
mm.
different PCs, which has two different types
Correct.
of operating systems. Uh,
Correct.
will there be compatibility issues in that case?
No. There will not be any compatibility issues. There should
Uh,
not be any compatibility issues
Okay. So when I'm trying to build
because
this, when I'm trying to
mm,
pull out, let's say, data from the database server, which I've already
mm,
created, like I'm pulling
mm,
some data from. So I should be able to
mm.
do it from my Windows server,
Yeah, definitely. With
Windows
no
web
no
server.
arguments on that. Microsoft can't say that, okay, that is a Linux machine, I can't allow you. No. He can't say that.
Correct. Okay.
So no way. And Linux also can't say that, okay, that guy is Microsoft, I don't want to allow that guy. No, I am restricting that. No, nobody
Okay.
says that.
Got it.
Okay. And
Okay.
please understand, across the globe, if it is servers, they only use Linux on those
Linux.
systems. They don't normally use Windows on those systems.
Yeah, yeah. Linux is only the one which they use usually for
Yeah,
Windows.
which is because those are all critical applications.
Correct.
Okay. You don't know, you never know when a Windows system crashes.
Correct.
Linux systems never crash. I have physically, seen many machines, even operating systems, CentOS.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
worked on Linux PCs, Windows PCs. I have
Yeah.
hands-on experience with Mac PC also.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm aware of all the PCs.
Yeah. So that is good, because that exposure will give you one more step ahead than the rest in cracking a interview.
Okay.
Okay. So this is all about virtualization, Kavya. So this is no rocket science, easy to understand. Then in our next sessions,
Uh,
I will show you a demo of we will have 2 or 3 Linux machines on your
mhm.
PC. Okay,
Okay.
and
Right.
then we will install one web server, one
Mm.
database server,
Mm.
and let me see if there are few more applications that we can build, and you can
Okay.
actually demonstrate. Yeah.
Okay.
And one application that I would want you to work on
Uh,
is configuring MQTT. Yesterday we discussed about that.
Correct.
Okay.
Configuring
So
MQTT.
yeah, message queue telemetry transport. Okay, if
Okay.
you can demonstrate it, I am damn sure that you will hit the job 1000%.
Okay.
But the way you explain to the interviewer, you have to actually pull him to your side. You have to make him listen to what you wanted to say, you wanted to convey. And this is where my skills are. And where did you use Python, and how did you configure that virtual machines? Everything has to be very neatly documented and presented. I am very sure he or she will give you anything not less than 90 minutes to 120 minutes
Oh,
during the interview. And if you are doing 90 to 120 minutes of an interview, your chances of hitting are seriously very high. They
right.
will they will definitely get up from their seats. They will shake hand and they say welcome aboard.
So we are configuring this MQTT through writing an by writing uh, code with Python. Is my
No, no,
understanding
no, no, no.
correct?
We are not doing that. See, what will happen is MQTT is a protocol.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
we configure that as a service on
Okay.
CentOS machine. Yeah. So it is similar to your HTTP. It is similar to
Uh,
your FTP. It is
okay.
similar to your email. So email, everything has protocols, right?
Yes.
So email has a protocol, database has a protocol, your web has protocol. All these are different protocols. Similar to that, we will configure. Your confusions will be taken away the moment you see the demo, live demo.
Correct. Correct.
But that is really very costly, and I charge really very high. Please, I'm
Sure.
just trying to caution
Are you
you.
are you going to charge in through dollars or rupees? Because rupees you have to contact my father. Dollars you can contact me.
No, no, I am trying to talk in terms of euro, because I think euro is the costliest, or maybe some other currency which is costliest.
You are looking at the costest you.
Yeah. Because that makes sense, right, Kavya? So
It
why do I
makes
go
sense.
for Nine?
Then
Why
I
do I
say
go
it.
for Sri Lankan rupee or Pakistani rupee or Afghan? Uh, you know,
I'm talking about Indian rupees. I'm not even
I
talking
could not
about.
I could not get you.
I'm talking to you in dollar is also highest right now. It's 83.
Oh,
One
is it?
dollar is
Okay.
84 rupees.
Is it going higher than euro?
I don't know what is the euro rate, but yeah, let me check.
Yeah, euro and maybe pound.
Pound is higher, I think. Euro to INR, right?
That's what I will be charging the
Euro Euro is
highest possible.
88. Pound, let me see.
And you have
Pound is 102. Pound is 103. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm always available. You can check with my father. He might ask you for discounts.
so I it seems that Kuwait dinar is the
Oh,
costliest.
oh, I know it's dinar is costly. That's just not able. I was not going to bring that up. I know dinars are very costly.
So it seems one Kuwait dinar is $3.25. Wow.
$3.25 is 3.25 into 83.
Yeah, yeah. So that is what you have to pay me. If you are agreeing to that, okay, let us, I will conduct a 24-hour session for you. No problem on that.
24 hour session, you will not sleep, but I have to sleep.
Okay, Kavya, that's it for today.
Okay.
Let's catch up once again. Review whatever I have sent you. Okay,
Sure.
review all those that I have sent you.
Okay.
And yes, we will catch up. And upload the video to Google Drive and share me that link so that it can go on YouTube as well. Okay?
Okay. I think actually the video got broke into two. Like
Okay.
one video is like 20 more than 45 minutes or so. The other
That's
is
okay.
about 5 minutes,
Hmm.
I think, to the end or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, you can review the video. I
Okay.
think from starting to end it will be there. Okay.
Right.
Then you can upload it into Google Drive and then you can
Share it to you.
let.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll share it to you. Sure.
Okay. Okay then.
Yeah.
So,
Have a nice
bye, take
day.
care, and
Yeah.
don't miss out to ask me any number of questions because it is very important
Okay.
for you guys to understand the concepts very well. I am
Yes.
teaching as I teach to school students. So, this is no big funda, this is no big rocket science. It is just, the understanding that we need to have. That's it, nothing
Right.
else.
That's right. Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Sure,
Sure.
sure. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.